I'm going to give my speech today. I shall start now. Every 2 years I tuned into the Olympics, I had the same two thoughts. One, that I should really join a gym, and the second, that I have never had a nation to root for during the games. I'm the child of 2 Indian immigrants born in the United States. Even though I'm not of a mixed race, I am still constantly torn between identifying myself as an Indian or as an American. I've spent time in either of these countries, and I've learned many invaluable experiences. However, these experiences still haven't helped me identify who I am. In America, I've learned that people are expected to be perfect, but there's still room for second chances. I've learned that people may seem friendly when they pass you down on the street, but many are not aware of the houses next to them, and that silence often fills the streets of many towns in this country. I've learned that technology is an important part of an American's day, and technology could even be interconnected with their own identity. Even though popularly viewed as the land of Caucasians, the United States is truly united in terms of ethnicities, with people of different backgrounds seen almost everywhere. Obesity is not as big of an epidemic as it is publicized by the media. Even though the American schooling system of project-based learning seems really easy and simple on the surface, it actually makes you think and analyze situations that you would never have thought of. And finally, even though the United States is progressing in many fields, many scars from the past continue to blister open in public light. In India, people were expected to be perfect, and there's no room for second chances. If you mess up, you can't get up. The gossip mill is always spinning, with people always talking about every single action you do. However, there will be one person who helps you in a desperate time of need. Even though all Indians look the same, they all have different ambitions and dreams, many of which are achieved even though prohibited by society. Oh, and even though it's the 21st century, societal rules are still present, seen in life-changing actions of getting married or getting a higher education. Technology isn't such a huge thing in an Indian's life. They can survive without it for a few days. And I've also seen the streets of cramped towns and even more populated cities be filled with laughter and games and talking well after dark. And even though India is trying to progress, many of the states are left behind, with interstate battles and many deceptions happening. And in order to take each place that I was told to be in, I had to act a certain way. I had to talk in a different language. I had to write a different language. I learned certain manners that I strongly objected to. And I was able to do this, whether I had to wear a uniform and go under strict laws, or whether I could wear casual clothes and use a cell phone in class. Despite doing all these things, I have still been called a red Indian, a foreigner, an American spoiled kid, a kid who can't ever fit in, an outcast, just because of one misunderstood pop culture reference, or because the slightest change of my ability to speak the language. Even though I